Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I mean, it's been a while. It's the inconsistency for me, but we'll talk about that in another video later. My name is Tiisetso Selekoe for those who don't know me, and yes, as you can read from the title, we are expecting a rainbow baby. Yeah, so this video is literally about that. I'm letting you guys in on this tough journey and probably the reason why I haven't been on these YouTube streets that much. So yeah, I got my new obsession. I always liked orals, but now it's my go-to. So let's get into the video because I don't want to make this video too long. So the last time I was here, I posted a video about, the anxiety involved with, the anxiety people go through after a loss, whether you like trying to have a baby again or you're afraid to have a baby again because of the loss. It really plays a huge role on your emotional health, and I think I went through that for the longest of time, and I wasn't really aware that it's what I was going through until I actually sat down and started doing an audit, about an audit on my emotions and everything else. But yeah, it is really stressful to always pee on a stick, and you're hoping it says you're pregnant, but you're also hoping it doesn't say you're pregnant. You're hoping it says you're pregnant because then it validates the fact that you can have children again, but then again you're hoping it doesn't say it because you don't know if you have the emotional capacity to keep the baby, to lose a baby again, so it's a whole lot of emotions that come to mind. So then with me, I went through all those emotions, and then one day I peed on a stick and it said it was positive. So let me just give you a story on, I'm just going to take you guys on a journey to where I am right now and how everything came about. So obviously my husband and I we're not social distancing the way we were supposed to be social distancing, and these are the results. Yeah. I'm kidding. So yeah, so this one day we're celebrating my friend's birthday. We're taking pictures, and I just felt really heavy, and I was just like, I looked at my pictures, and people think I'm crazy. People think I'm like making this up, but literally I saw the pictures and I saw my tummy area was like a bit bigger than usual. Like my love handles were out there, my tummy was like big. I had to like literally breathe in so that I can take a proper picture. So after the whole photo shoot nyana that we had, I felt like a bit of cramps, and I told my friends, what, I think I'm pregnant, guys. And they're like, ah man, maybe you're gonna be on your periods. I'm like, nah. So we're spending the week there. Was it a weekend? Yeah, but we're spending time together with my friends, and the following day we went to buy a pregnancy test. So I remember just before we went outside, we had a little chat with my friends. My friend is like, so why are we buying a pregnancy test? Do you want a baby? What do you want it to say? And all of that. So I let them know that, what, right now I just want validation that I can have a baby, but also I don't really want to have a baby because I'm not sure if I can carry it to full term, and also I'm not sure if I'm ready for that emotional stress that comes with pregnancy. But anyway, we bought the stick, and then only later I decided to pee on it. I sat down, and then my two friends, Tato and Tato, are the ones who actually who went to the bathroom to go check. I didn't check it myself. And then they were like, oh my gosh, it says you're pregnant. And I'm like, and then like, so wait, no wait, they're like, no wait, what is it supposed to say when you're pregnant? So I'm like, it's supposed to have, so I was just teasing them, like it's supposed to have one tick or one line. And they're like, oh, then you're not, because it has 2 lines. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait guys, what? And they're like, yeah, no, it has 2 lines. And I'm like, no, that's a positive sign. And they came back and their reaction was bizarre. So I'm not going. I'll probably have them sometime in the future to just, you know, so that they can replay this reaction because it was really explicit. But anyway, I cried because I wasn't sure how to feel. I was relieved that, you know, I can have babies, but also I was scared. I was shocked. I was wondering, am I ready at this point, you know? It also came at a time, if you're also on my Instagram, you'll know it came at a time where I wasn't emotionally stable. So when that happened, I was just like, what are we gonna do now? Like, another one. What are we gonna do? But anyway, as I'm laughing at, you know, the reaction, I told my husband, he was thrilled because he's been singing that, you know, song that he wants another baby and whatever. So he was overjoyed, but I was still a bit scared, you know, about, you know, how things will turn out, you know. Cool. Then, I mean, weeks went by. We had to go celebrate my friend's engagement. So we went there, and as we were having fun, I feel something, man. You know when when you have your first period and you just feel like, man, there's something going on down there and you just don't know what it was. So I had that feeling. I ignored it, and after that, when I stood up, when I got up, I saw blood. So where I was sitting, on the chair that I was sitting, and on my dress as well. So, you know, I just reached out to my bag to check, or am I bleeding or not, you know. So and then I asked my friend, I'm like, am I bleeding? And she's like, yeah, you're bleeding. So then we all rushed to the bathroom like little girls, rushed to the bathroom because we all knew I was pregnant. So then it was like a slow panic moment, a little panic moment. And then we went to the bathroom, and at that point I wasn't even feeling anything because I was just like, here we go again. I'm bleeding. I bled the last time and I lost the baby, so I'm bleeding again. So yeah, it's a good thing that I wasn't too attached to this one. So I was convincing myself that I'm not freaking out, you know. So yeah, we washed the stain of my dress, and yeah, got myself a panty liner. I wore it, and I'm just like, okay, this is happening, so this means that you shouldn't get too attached to this baby because anything can happen and you don't want to go through that emotional stress again. So we went back to the people and we partied. Obviously, like, at the back of my head, I'm just thinking to myself, here it goes again. I carry and I lose, you know. So at that point, I had made a decision not to be attached to what I'm carrying. So yeah, we went on, and then when it was time to go home, there was still a bit of blood that was coming out. So then we decided to go to the hospital, and that was like our first case of going to ER, the emergency room. We drove there. I called my husband to come. So I texted him before, and I'm like, you know, I'm bleeding, but it's nothing to worry about, because also I just didn't want that attention on me, and I just needed to deal with it myself at that moment. Pretty selfish of me, but it's a reaction that happened. It happened. Anyway, we got to the ER. The doctor came. They searched. They saw that there is blood, but they couldn't find the reason why I was bleeding. And I was just like, you know what, I don't even have the strength to pray right now. Whatever it is, it must just, let's get it over and done with before I get too attached to the fact that, you know, I'm carrying something. I was there for a while. They did tests, they did blood tests, they did a whole lot of things, you know. Then cool, I was told to go to the doctor on Monday. We went to the doctor on Monday. We get there and nothing's there. The doctor can't see anything. We do all tests and, you know, they can't see anything. So the doctor, obviously, if you have a history of miscarriage, apparently you have to do a fetal abnormality test. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, but you have to do that test to see if you, like, the baby that you're carrying doesn't have the same symptoms, or, you know, yeah. So, okay, we booked the test, and then they need to go check chromosomes, because with my previous pregnancy, the reason why I miscarried is because the baby had trisomy 13. I'll talk about it later at a later stage and in more depth. But so they had to also check chromosomes, if everything was okay, if the baby has Down syndrome or not. So okay, we booked for those tests and we did all of that. And a few weeks later, I was back in ER because I was driving with my husband, and then all of a sudden, you know that moment where you sneeze and you're on your period, you sneeze and blood comes out. I had that moment, and now my gene was wet. And you know, if your gene is wet, it means that like that thing really needed to pierce through a whole lot of fabric for it to show, you know. So cool, we went to ER again. When we got there, this time I get admitted and had to take a COVID test as well. We stayed in some yellow room because that's where everybody else goes before you test positive or negative for COVID, right? Anyway, stood there, met another lady who was going through a similar thing, who was also, you know, seeing my doctor. Cool, we exchanged conversation, and it made me calm down. But in my head, I was just like, Lord, save that baby, but me, whatever you do. Because at that point, I felt like there were so many things that I trusted God for, and that went south, and I needed them to go north. And I was praying and hoping they go north, but they went south. And I had to, you know, embrace that decision that God has made for my life. So with this one, I was just like, whatever you do, you're the God here, you know. So yeah, so I was admitted. I think I was admitted for 4 days, and obviously at that point it felt like life stopped because I couldn't do anything. I was weak. It was also my first trimester. I wasn't eating much. I couldn't stomach anything, not even water. And I was there was a holiday in between, so it made me stay even longer because my doctor doesn't work on weekends or holidays. But anyway, so we sat there and the doctor came. I think I was seen by 3 doctors and they all didn't see anything. So the last doctor was like, no, you know what, I need to book you in to see in 2 weeks to see if we should stitch your cervix, because you keep bleeding and we need to make sure that your cervix is closed. I was like, okay, whatever. So everything they told me literally came in here and went out of there, because I was sure that this was it. I was scared, but I was also like not invested in everything that was going on. It was stressful, yes, and I couldn't tell so many people. I couldn't even tell, you know, people were calling me like, you're so quiet, what's going on? And it was just a lot, you know. So weeks later we go and then we see the doctor for the whole fetal abnormality test thing, and he does all the tests, and the tests come out and they're okay. And a week later, and I'm saying, the way I'm saying them is exactly how they happened, like consecutively. Anyway, so a week or 2 later, I went home, and no, before that, a week later, I started cramping. Like I started contracting hard, like literally as though I was about to give birth. And my contractions were, you know, increasing, and they were becoming painful. And yeah, it was as though I was about to give birth, right? And I was all the way in the Free States, so I was just like, looking for the closest hospital that I can go to, just in case something happens. Nothing happened that weekend, and then we went back home. That's when we went for the test, and then told the doctor. The doctor was still like, everything looks okay, but if you're feeling something else, then you'd have to go to the hospital so they can just have an in-depth look. Cool. We drove back to Mpumalanga this time. So traveling and tourism was like a thing for us, because also my husband's from Free States and I'm from MP, so it is what it is. So when I got there, I got sick because it was raining that weekend, and then I had like a terrible, horrible flu. And then with every sneeze and every cough, I would feel pains, I'd contract, and it would be so painful. I went to our nearest GP because there are no gynecologists where I am from, guys. I'm from the Bindus. So the GP fortunately had an ultrasound, so they checked and they found that, you know, there is concealed blood, and that I have this what they call placenta previa. So I'll also explain what this is in a video that I'll do next time, but it basically means the placenta was closing the mouth of the cervix, so this is where the baby comes out, right? And I had to be on bed rest for three weeks. So again, I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to be excited for anymore. Like, there's just one thing after the other. When, you know, they cancel this one, this thing comes up, and I was just like, it instilled so much fear in me that I was unable to celebrate. I was unable to you know, be excited as everybody else was, you know, because I was feeling like, you know, should I lose this baby? And I had all this excitement, the pain, when everybody else is forgotten, you know. And literally, guys, I kid you not, pregnancy after you've lost a baby is literally filled with fear and hope, and it literally is up to you to feed one and not the other. And if you feed your fear, that's where you feel like things are just hopeless. So I constantly had to remind myself who God is in my life, because every second and every news, every report that I was getting from the doctor made it seem like, you know, made his image and his presence in my life so faint, because I was just like, where are you? What are you doing in all this situation, you know? So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna choose hope. I'm going to choose to feed my hope. I'm going to choose to feed my faith than my fear. And that's when it changed. And I mean, that's when I decided that I'm going to go public about it and take people on this journey, because I felt like the more I was quiet about it, I was giving it power to eat me inside somehow. So yeah, and I remember it took the bed rest for me to come to a point where I was just like, oh my God, I am actually expecting a baby. And you know, with me, I started feeling movements way early in the pregnancy, and I think that was just God constantly reminding me that it is life that you're carrying, and you're carrying this life through, you know, and I'm the one who's working. Although you don't see it, I want you to feel it at this point, you know. And yeah, so the journey still continues, obviously, and I appreciate everybody's prayers, all the beautiful messages that I've been getting from everybody ever since I've told them or I went public about it. It's beautiful. I love it so much. It's encouraging me as well. And basically, yeah, I feel like God has given me another chance to love again, you know. And that was my biggest fear, that, you know what, I don't think I would love beyond my firstborn. And here it is. I'm expecting another baby, a rainbow baby. Everything is going okay, it's going well, and in Jesus' name everything will remain well. So here's a little something that I put together, just to show you show you what happened throughout the journey till now. And I pray you guys, I hope you guys, you know, are encouraged by this thing. For me, it was just a symbol of God renewing our hope. I remember I named my miscarriage video as, you know, losing hope, and this one was as though God was like, I'm renewing your hope. I'm restoring that hope that you once had. I'm restoring the faith that you once had in me, and I'm bringing it in human form, just as a symbol that I remain in your life. I am the master of your life. And yeah, I hope my journey encourages you. That's the reason why I'm even putting it out there. I hope it encourages somebody that God will show up. Although sometimes we really question his timing, we really question, you know, how he does things because of how, you know, our eyes can see, or what our eyes are seeing in the present. But he is working, and he really has our best interest at heart. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have somebody who's gone through something similar, do share both my videos with them and let it encourage them, and let them know that, you know, the Lord is still working. No matter what the outcome of their situation is, the Lord is working. I'm praying for all of you guys, and I love you.
I miss you, baby. Can't believe